Alright, gang, welcome back to our Luxury Tax Challenge here on Mecklenburg. It's still October. I went ahead and spent some money here on a trailer. We're going to utilize this to sell all of the silage bales that we have that are now ready. I've made a decision that I'm going to allow auto load just to make it a little bit easier on us. It's been a bit of a disaster there, picking up those bales and getting them sorted and everything. So we're going to utilize it. Now, I'm not going to always utilize it, you know, the auto load perspective here, but like from a leasing perspective, if we need to, I'm going to allow it. Whenever we own something, ideally we would own an actual bale loader of some sort, like we utilized in the last episode, or you know, a skid steer, etc. Ideally, that's what we want to get to at some point. But if it's going to be easier for us and it's just going to be you know, a faster process, I'm going to allow the auto load for bales specifically. I don't want to allow it for things like pallets and things like that. But I'm on console and there's not really anything yet that I've been able to find except for one item that allows like an auto load from pallets. Now, the auto load from pallets that is allowed, it modifies what it is. So if you had like wood beams, it puts them in like just a normal standard box. So it's not exactly, you know, perfect, but it does work. So there is that option. But if, you know, for this series, we're just going to say that we're going to allow the auto load for a bale perspective only. So that's what we did. So we went ahead and leased this trailer here. Cost me just slightly over $900. I think it was $905 to be exact. So relatively inexpensive. Now, we are going to have to do a couple of trips, obviously. This is not the biggest trailer in the world. But I was trying to keep it a smaller amount on purpose, right? Just to save us some money because, as you can clearly tell, we don't have a whole lot of money. Now, today we would probably going to do, well, it depends on how much money we make off these silage bales, honestly. But more than likely, we're going to probably have to do some kind of a contract today just to get us a little bit more money because I would like to go ahead and put the oilseed radish in that field out there in the distance. So to do that, we obviously are going to need money to be able to, well, buy seeds and fertilizer and then also be able to lease the drill, right? Maybe we buy it, but more than likely, it's probably going to be a lease situation. So let's put this in operating position. I just want to make sure that there wasn't anything changed. I should already know this very well. We utilized this in the triple threat challenge that I still haven't fully finished yet. There's a reason why I haven't fully finished this because, well, quite frankly, the temple is absolutely killing me. I have to move all of those by hand because of what we just talked about. I can't even utilize the auto load perspective. The auto load doesn't work, right? So if I buy those pallets or whatever and I try to auto load them into that and then I try to unload it into the temple, it won't accept it. Now, unless a change has been made, which I don't think it has, unless a change has been made recently, as in, when I say recently, as in the last couple of weeks, there's no way for me to utilize that to unload all those bales. If I could do that, it would make the temple a lot easier because I said we were going to finish the temple, but really, all we're doing right now, all we're waiting on right now is just to finish the temple, so it's just a time thing, right? So it just takes forever for me to get there, so that's the reason why we haven't finished that. But anyway, I digress. That's not what this series is about, so let's move on. So we've got silage here to sell. Now, I don't know where the best place is to sell the silage. I probably haven't even been there yet, honestly, but we'll take a look. Silage doesn't really fluctuate all that much, but right now it's actually the best time to sell it, which is kind of funny. So there is a biogas plant that's close to us. Or we can get a little extra money if we go to this one. So how actually close is that one to us? I don't even see it on the map. Am I blind and missing it somewhere? It says right behind us somewhere. Okay. So it must be here, but it's not showing up, because that looks like somewhere that it would be. Yeah, nothing's showing up there. That's interesting. Okay. Where's the other one? Does the other one show up on the map? Because maybe that's just what we should do. Bale sale. Okay, that one's over here. So that one does show up. For whatever reason, this one was not showing up. I don't know why. We're very familiar with this area. This is over here by those, where we were doing some work contract-wise, and these are the three windmills that we saw that I kind of liked this area back here, right? So we're very familiar with that. It is quite a drive, though. But let's do it. let's do it. We'll get a little extra money out of it. And I'm going to try to go a different way, I think. So we always go to the left. Why don't we go to the right and follow it down that way? I think we've gone this way maybe one other time. Maybe when we were doing that contract, potentially. Don't be honking the horn at me, Walter. Alright, so we want this one here, right? Yeah, this one. Okay, yeah, we've gone down this road one time. I'm very familiar with this now that we're going down it. So good, we'll head on down here, we'll sell these. We'll come back and get the other ones and do the same thing. It should make us a decent amount of money, this. This is a lot of bales here. Now, right now, it just says, for whatever reason, square bales 24. It doesn't actually say silage. I would have thought it would said silage, and it looks like it says straw for some reason. But these are indeed grass bales that have been turned into silage. We kind of looked at that, but anyway. Let's get down here, let's sell these, and go get the other trip, and go make the other trip as well. Sell those. Let's see where we get to money-wise, and that's really going to make a decision on if we're going to do a contract, and more than likely we are, what size of contract we're going to do. All right, that's all done. We ended up getting got to $95,607. I also cleaned that up over there because that was driving me crazy too. So we can go ahead and return this trailer now. We will not need to lease it anymore for the time being. So let's go ahead and do that before we incur any more fees on it. And return. Perfect. Okay, good. So that's done. I feel a lot better about it. Everything looks a lot better too. It looks a lot cleaner. So we got $95,000 to money to work with here, and that's a pretty hefty amount of money, if I'm honest with you. So let's see what we can get here for that. Ideally, I'd like to buy something. I just don't think we're quite there yet. We could get something smaller, certainly. But again, I don't think that's the approach I want to go with either. I think I want to quite a large drill, if at all possible, and I would love for it to be a direct drill. But see, 3 meter width, like that's not going to be sufficient for us, and that's kind of why I'm saying like these are just a steal, man. They're 5 5-meter width, right? But we utilize them so much that I would prefer to use something a little bit different, if at all possible. This thing is pretty phenomenal. It's going to cost way too much money. Way too much money. We won't even really make that much money back, which is kind of the problem here, right? That's the biggest problem we're dealing with, is that a lot of this stuff that we want to utilize, we're not going to make that money back in the field itself. Well, we will, but it'll be not the best. Let's put it that way. So it is October. We do have some crop. I just don't... It's not best till January, so I don't expect it to be decent. If it is decent, I mean, I'm willing to sell it. $1,085, which is... Actually, it's pretty good. The best is $1,224. Maybe we should sell that. Well, let's look and see. What do we got out here for contract-wise? So there's bale wrappings, which we can easily do. Cultivating stuff, we don't have any of that. Fertilizing, we can do, though these would be quite large. This one wouldn't be too bad, but these would be quite large, and would take quite a while, even with the size of what we have. Now, we could lease their equipment, certainly. Plowing, spraying, stone picking. The biggest problem, there's nothing that's come out here, has there? Nope, nope. That's pretty nice right there, but we don't really need that. So this one is pretty nice. This Bednar, that's kind of what I'm leaning into. I think this is a really realistic one here. 6-meter width is nice. Leasing it $6,000. We are almost to the amount of money we need for this, which is why I'm kind of leaning towards potentially selling that spelt. But I think maybe we go the approach of doing a contract first, and then, seeing what kind of money we have at that point. I don't think we're going to potentially have enough money in this episode to buy it, but there's a chance, I guess. It really just depends on if we want to do this big, massive fertilizing contract or not. I mean, we could technically do all these contracts with the same equipment, utilize the same equipment and make an absolute killing, right? We can make damn near, makes no difference, $40,000, maybe even slightly over $40,000 with all 3 of those contracts. They are quite large, though. That's a 30-acre, that's an 18, almost 19, and 10. I guess that's just slightly over 29, but anyway. It would take a while. Let me see if I can find this. So that to me looks like a liquid sprayer. Is it a liquid sprayer? I would think it would have to be. No, it's not. It's not. This is in the Plains and Prairies pack. I haven't used this yet. 22-meter width. It just has a massive storage capacity on it. Like, that's the thing, right? What we currently have, I mean, it's a 27-meter width, so it's even better. But it only holds 2,000, right? That's the problem. I guess what we could potentially do is look and see if we can find maybe, an increase, a storage increase, and utilize that potentially. I just don't think we're going to be... I mean, there's these seed tanks are great, but, I mean, it does say you can put fertilizer in these, though, so maybe this is the way to go. They're not cheap, though, right? Those aren't cheap. And they're not giving us that much. They're not giving us that much more. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's just do it this way. Let's do one of them. Let's do the big one. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter whichever one we use. We're getting the same thing, except for this one. You're getting, what is that piece of equipment? I haven't seen that yet either. That looks like a solid fertilizer spreader too. What is that under? I guess it's under this sprayer here. And does it have the ability? Yeah, it does. It does. That's what it is. Okay. This is a 42-meter width. Why would you not use this one? This is why you always go in here and check this stuff, right? If you're going to borrow their equipment, you check and see what it's given you. Because that's what it's given us. Let's do this one. And then we'll just borrow this and utilize it for the other ones before we turn it in. That's a massive, massive tank. And it's a massive spreading width, so it won't take that long. Okay, I'm going to borrow it. Let me just turn that off. This thing is huge, man. I don't even know how much fertilizer this is going to hold. It's going to cost us a lot of money to buy all the fertilizer for this. But, you know, that's fine. I'm just going to buy regular. I'm not even going to buy... I'm assuming we're going to need a ton here. I mean, if we're going to do all of those fields, we're going to need an absolute ton no matter what, right? So let's buy all of those. That was expensive, but it was worth it. I don't know how much this is actually going to hold in this thing. It actually looks like it's not going to hold as much as I had thought. I thought we were easily going to be able to put all 8 of these in here, but I'm not sure that's going to be the case. Looking more like 6. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. We're just now hitting 50%, so maybe not. Yeah, I think we're actually going to fit them all in there. Never mind. I stand corrected. I might even have enough room for one more. I think there is room for one more. Are we going to need one more? Probably not, but let's just go ahead and buy it anyway. We're here. I would rather not have to make another trip back unless I absolutely have to. Okay. And what we're going to do is whenever we're done with this, just like we did with the liquid herbicide, we are going to take this back to the yard and because we don't want to waste this. Okay, so field 3, I don't even know. We haven't been up this way yet, so I don't even know how to get there. I don't know what the best way to get there is. Looks like going to the right to me from here, and then taking, well, I mean, I guess you're going to go right straight when it dead ends, and then turn to first left, and then all the way down. That's what it looks like to me. Let's put the beacons on. Let's check this thing out inside, man. This thing is awesome. This thing is nuts. It's crazy, man. That's a crazy machine this is. All right, well, let's get to work. It's going to take a while, but let's see. Let's do this one, see how long it takes. If it's quick, as I'm hoping it'll be, you know, then we'll probably pick up another one. I'm not sure I'm even going to care about the smaller amount one right now. I think really we just take the 2 big ones if the time permits to do it, right? We don't want to obviously spend too much time just doing contracts, but they're key here early stages, as I've mentioned already. So let's get to work. All right, we're almost back here. I'm going to unload all this fertilizer. I didn't need to spend anywhere near the amount of money that I spent on fertilizer, but that's all right. We'll use it eventually. Might put us in a bit of a pickle for buying the drill, which is what I really wanted to do. Although, if we were to buy the drill, we need a lot more money, I think, than we initially had thought, because we've got to obviously take the 10% off of that, or 10% addition to that we had to put into the park, right? So it's going to be quite a lot of money, and we don't really have a whole lot of money when you think about buying something like that. So let's unload all of this here. I mean, I'm just kind of unloading them in weird spots, I know, but, you know, it's fine. We'll move them around as the yard continues to develop. We'll move them around when we need to, right? Okay, so let's turn these in. These are going to make us good money here. There we go. Collect and collect. Perfect. 113,000 is what we have now. If we look at the drills again for 113,000, this obviously we don't have enough to buy that as it is right now, unfortunately. As much as I would like to, we could buy this one. This has options for pretty much almost everything, which is really, really nice. However, it is not a direct drill. So we're still in the same situation we were in before, right? With not really having anything large enough for us to buy to put into the ground here. So this is a 6-meter width. This is 5.2 meters, and it's only $6,000. This is $116,000. It's hard not to go with one of these. You know what I mean? It's hard. Even though we utilize these a lot, I think from a temporary standpoint, we're going to go with it again. Yeah, I think we're going to go with it. I kind of like this white. I wasn't really expecting that from a John Deere, but I kind of like it, so we're going to roll with it. Let's use this for the time being. We're spending a little bit of extra money because we're putting on the Michelin bigger wheels, which we all know that I like. Yeah, it's not perfect by any means. It's not ideal, but we're gonna go with it. So $7,000. We got to keep track of that. We're gonna spend $7,000. We have to take 10% of that, right? So $700 has to go into the park today at a bare minimum. I had planned on doing a lot more than that, but we're just we spent enough money, spent enough time doing the contracts already. I don't want it just to be an entire episode full of contracts, so because of that reason, we're going to hold off on doing another one of them. I had thought about doing that one other fertilizing contract while we had it, because it was right around the corner for like $7,000. Would have got us to the point where we could have bought that drill. I was looking at that Bednar, but then we wouldn't have been able to do the 10% luxury tax portion of that purchase for the park. We wouldn't have had enough, so we'd have to do another contract. So I think it's best just to hold off for the time being, and then we can upgrade to a bigger drill next season. Now, I don't think our grass field needed anything. Let's do a quick autosave here. We haven't done one of those in a bit. We had to do one in the middle of that time lapse, but other than that, we haven't done one since. I don't think it needed any more fertilizer. I could be incorrect. Yeah, it looks like it's fine. Yep, it's fine. Equipment is already extremely dirty, which is crazy to me. I think I had, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I think I had it set at like normal or low, but to me it's seeming like the equipment's on like high for getting dirty, but it's okay. We've got that wash bay, right? So we can utilize that here in the upcoming episodes to clean the equipment here, because we probably will need to do that. I'm going to need to buy some seeds as well while I'm up here. I won't need, you know, I might need to buy a couple boxes of seeds, honestly. I'm not really 100% positive on that. I think what I would like to do with some of this money, since we're going to hold off to getting another drill until the next season, is get something that will help us around the yard. Specifically, I'm talking like a wheel loader or a front loader or something like that, skid steer, whatever. I think that would be something good for us to get. So we're going to go ahead and fill this up with what fertilizer is there. I'm going to go ahead and buy a seed here. You do get more seeds in this than you do on these. It's weird. For whatever reason, you do. I'm going to buy it in the liftable form. I'm going to buy... before I do that, hold on a second. Let's go back for a minute. Bear with me here for a minute. Bear with me. I really want like a telehandler or a wheel loader. That's what I want. These are all expensive. Now we can get the Volvos, right? Volvos are, you know, reasonably priced, I guess. But I think I'd rather have one of these telehandlers. We have yet to utilize that in FS25, and I'd like to. Forklifts a little much. Skid steer, we could go with the skid steer, I guess. And temporarily purpose, right? Could get this second tractor too while we're at it. It's only 123 horsepower, but it would still be useful for some around the farm type of stuff, right? 54,000 is pretty expensive though, so I'll hold off. Let me buy the seeds, and then we'll think about the wheel loader or the telehandler, all that stuff. We'll think about that and figure out what we're gonna do. This should be, I think we'll be able to get the whole field done with the seeds here. I could be wrong on that statement, but I think we will. If not, I guess we'll have to drive up here and get it, but I would think we're going to have enough. The seeds, they don't really normally go away all that much. I guess it really depends on the actual, now that we've got the precision farming on, right? It depends on the soil type, right? It's going to utilize more seed in certain areas versus other, right? So, I don't know. We'll see. Either way, we're going to get the oilseed radish into the ground. This is the last day to do it. All right, we're back here. We're going to go ahead and fill it up here, the fertilizer. We got plenty of it. Way too much of it. And we'll get started here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the steering assist lines here. Yep, that's good. This is going to take a while, man. This is not going to be a quick process, unfortunately, given the size of this. Now, I could have, and maybe I should have, bought 2 or 3 of these and then kind of connected them together. That would have been an option. I guess that's probably something I should have done. I was trying to save myself from doing that, since I already said we wanted to potentially upgrade this relatively soon anyway, right? So that was the main reason why I didn't do it, but it could have been a better option, is to do that. Oh well. Anyway, too late now, I guess. So this will be nice, having this oilseed radish down here. It's going to help the yield of this field tremendously. Right now, the nitrogen's bad, which we already know that, so that's fine. Yeah, low seed rate right now, which is good. We want a low seed rate for the entirety of the thing, honestly. Oh, we don't need to put fertilizer down here. We're using oilseed radish. What am I thinking right now? We don't need additional fertilizer. What am I doing here? Shoot. Whoops, we just wasted some fertilizer. That's alright. Let's go take it back here really quick and then get it reset. Well, nothing like a classic screw up there. That's a bit embarrassing, but that's alright. I wasn't really thinking when I would put in the fertilizer there. I was just going through the motions here of what I'm used to doing with this. So, whoops, that's alright. We didn't waste that much fertilizer. It wasn't that much. It was fine. It's fine. All is well. So this is going to take a while, gang. This is not going to be a quick process here, and honestly, we're getting late already in this episode and the time on this episode. What we might end up doing here is go for a little bit here, and then get as much as we can done. Hopefully the sun continues to stay up a little bit further for us, and then maybe the next episode we do a little bit more in October and then jump to November. I'm not against doing that, and ever since we've kind of added that rule into play that we're allowed to do more than 1 episode per month, doesn't really matter as long as we get it done, right? Doesn't matter how long it takes us to do in each month. So that's probably what we'll end up doing. We'll get going here a little bit on, well, I'm kind of going backwards. I know technically I should be doing inside first and then the headlands at the end, but it doesn't matter. So we're starting with the headland. But we'll probably get the headlands done and begin a little bit on the inside, and then kind of move to the next episode at that point, I guess, and complete the rest of this in October, and then move to November for the next episode. I think it makes sense. It's a better use of our time, for sure. Now, I also had some thoughts about our bale wrapper. I really like that bale wrapper. I don't necessarily want to get rid of the bale wrapper, but now that we have the BGA and we can put grass directly into it and turn it into silage, it almost makes it a little bit obsolete. So that's potentially an option for us in the future here. I kind of don't want to get rid of it because we could utilize it right now for some contract-based stuff, right? But from a future perspective, it might be smart for us to consider getting rid of that altogether and then just utilizing our BGA as, you know, our silage creation, right? Instead of wrapping the bales and waiting, I can just throw them in there and let it do its thing. But we'll see, right? We'll think about it. We'll see. Won't be anytime soon because really we want that right now to try to gain ourselves a little bit of extra funds here for the contracts and things like that. So we've already had 2 time lapses. One was relatively short. The last one was it was a normal size time lapse. But let's get some more of this done and let's see where we get to. All right, I'm actually going to put this on a worker here. I don't know where the worker's going to go. Hopefully they stick going the path that I'm doing here. I had a bit of a brainwave for a minute here, so I thought about something. So, you know, we talked about getting the front loader or the wheel loader or, you know, skid steer or any of that stuff, right? We talked about all of that. Still might do that. But what if we do this? This is like a temporary thing, obviously, like we talked about. We've got this one drill here, which is fantastic. We've got the one tractor. There is the used Iseki out in the used market. $52,000. It's still expensive, but it is about, well, it's 44% off according to the actual used market, right? It's only had 12 months on it, so it's still relatively brand new. What if we buy this, okay? I want to put the weights and the wide tires on it. You know, I like my wide tires. So what if we buy this? What is the difference here? ProCombat detects the real nitrogen demand of your crops. While driving with the sensors over your field, you'll get more precise information of the nitrogen that is required. With this information, the fertilization will be more accurate and results in a higher yield. Interesting. So that's pretty useful. I don't think I want it on for right now. I think I'll suffer without it for right now, but that's a pretty cool addition that could be there. So what if we buy this for $57,571 and we buy a secondary drill? And then I can have a worker running in tandem with me at all times whenever we're drilling the field. Why would we not do that? At least temporarily, and then eventually, you know, we can get rid of both the drills and get a bigger one, and then we won't need, you know, the worker to be doing it at the same time with us. But why wouldn't we do that? I'm going to do it. Whether it's right or wrong, I'm going to do it. So $57,571 plus $7,000. I'll have to do all this math here for a second here. Hold on a second. We're going to do all this math. Calculator. 57,571 plus 7,000. So we're at 64,571. And then we need the drill, right? I'm going to buy the exact same drill. The exact same one. No deviation. Where's my Michelin's at? There they are. Exactly the same. So that's another 7,000. So we spent $71,571. So that means we have to spend exactly $7,157, maybe a little bit more with some change, on the park today. $7,157. Let's try to remember that. Now, I'm going to let the worker continue doing this. I'm going to bring this back to the yard. I'm not going to do anything with it in this episode. Next episode, we will be kind of what I said, you know, picking up where we left off here in October, trying to finish that field. And then I think this, in the long run, is going to help us tremendously having both of these. And until we're able to afford a bigger one. And obviously, we just spent a ton of that money that we would want to save for that. But that's okay. All right, we are full on seeds here as well. This evidently does not have any beacons on it, which I think is kind of interesting. I thought this tractor would have beacons on it, but it doesn't, evidently. Interesting. Okay, I'll get this back, and then we're going to jump over to the park, and we're going to put down that 7,150 plus change into the park itself. Okay, I've got it back here, and I went ahead and stopped the worker as well for the time being, but a lot of the field's done, so there's not much left to do, so that's a good thing, right? So let's head on up here. Let's see. I don't remember where all these are installed. I feel like some of these are under fences. It's going to take me a minute to find some of this here, gang. Yeah, there we go. Concrete curbs. That's what I was looking for. So this is like a painted curb that we can do here. So you can just pull it like a fence, which is really nice, right? This is going to work out really well. Now I think the problem I'm going to have here is making sure that I have it, correct. I think there's there's different segments we can do, right? So this one is like if you got a car coming in or, a walking path or whatever, right? So you've got that as an option. And then this one is a bigger version of that same thing, right? So I think for the time being, I'd like to just kind of pull out from here and kind of run up the edge here. And then when we figure out exactly where our entrance is going to be, well, I guess that's something we need to figure out right now, don't we? Just this small amount right here, we're almost surpassing what we need to be at, right? Just from this small amount here. So, I think like there, I think is probably sufficient. And then we want this one. I'm going to do 2 there. And that pretty much takes care of it there, right? I don't know if I want to do it down here or not where the cars come in. Yeah, it's saying collides with another item anyway, so it's not going to work. So I think this is fine down here. We need to get some, like markers and stuff as well. So here's what I think we'll do. Here's what we'll do. So that way we make sure that we, get this whole line done. We'll just go all the way down here to the end. Perfect. Yeah, I like that a lot. I think that looks so much better. It actually gives it a little bit of substance, right? This is going to look great, but it's very expensive. As you can clearly tell, it's very, very expensive. The other thing I wanted to do, which I think it's under decoration, I think? Yeah, it cost us $10,000 for that. That was way more than we had to spend, but that's okay. As long as we spend a certain dollar amount, we're fine. There's all the cars and stuff we're going to put in. Maybe it's not under decoration. I don't remember where it was, but I have parking spaces, basically, that can be put down. And that's kind of, after we get the curb the curb done, at least on this portion. I think that's the next step for us, is to kind of get the parking spaces kind of sorted out, right? I don't know what it's under. Could be under other, I guess, but I don't know what it's under. There's here we go. Yep, here we go. So these are relatively nice, right? Like, these are ones where I don't really have to do a whole lot. They're already kind of made for me. So that's gonna be nice, right? They're not cheap either, but that's gonna be nice. So anyway, that's stuff coming in the future. These are bigger spaces for, bigger vehicles, right? But these are your normal size parking spaces, which we probably would have a couple of these, but most of them are going to be this size, I think, in here. So anyway, that's what's to come. And we are going to leave the episode at this point. So I hope you enjoyed it, gang. If you did, I would appreciate it if you smash the like and subscribe button for me. Both of those things help me out an absolute ton. Thanks so much for your continued support. Thanks so much to my members. Cannot thank you guys enough. There's a Discord down below if you're interested in that. And I'll see you in the next episode.